All right, here we go again. Hollywood calling for another red state boycott. And believe me, there's a lot of states they're boycotting over the leaked Supreme Court draft opinion on Roe v. Wade.
I believe it would be 26, Brian.
Good luck with that.
The Writers Guild of America urging Tinseltown not to film in states likely to ban abortion, either outright or at some stage, if Roe v. Wade is overturned.
The union tweeting, "We call on our employers to consider the laws of each state when choosing production locations to ensure that our members will never be denied full access to reproductive care." Here to react, Fox and Friends Weekend co-host Will Cain. So, Will, first of all, good morning. So good to see you. We'll see you tomorrow morning as well over the weekend. But so this is interesting. The Hollywood, Writers Guild says don't film in other states. But other than them, I haven't heard as many boycotts as maybe I would have thought.
Well, there might be a reason for that, Rachel. First, let's walk through this. This is a victory. This moment is a victory not just for anyone who would consider themselves pro-life, but anyone that would consider themselves an adherent to the rational and originalist view of the Constitution. Abortion's been caught for 50 years in this state of suspension where we've had this rule from the federal government. Realizing now that it goes back to the states and our little laboratories of democracy can choose for themselves their own destiny, and then businesses can respond, is the way the United States government was envisioned. It's the way we've handled almost every other important cultural issue. So just take this for just a moment. You go, well, okay, we need to talk about the Writer Guilds and Hollywood's choice here for just one moment. But the fact that they're even at this moment in time where they can make this protest is actually a victory. Now, the point you got to, Rachel, there's a reason I think we're seeing fewer businesses sign up to protest states. And that reason is Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida.
Yeah, I agree.
Because of Disney.
Yeah. Because of Disney. A lot of people said, I'm not going to do the same. I'm not going to give you my money.
I think that for years, corporations have had a one-way street to protest in favor of woke politics. The NBA protesting the bathroom bill, the trans bathroom bill some years ago. And we've seen it numerous times, often in sports, when it comes to these state policies. And Governor Ron DeSantis changed that one-way street. He said, okay, fine. You want to play politics? Then we can play as well. You don't get the benefit of our political and governmental policy. So, Hollywood gets tax breaks in a lot of states to come and film their movies. And if they want to get involved in the politics of those particular states, I don't think they should plan on filming movies in Texas or in Georgia and getting favorable tax breaks. They may be able to count on it, but Ron DeSantis has changed that equation. So all of a sudden, I think any corporation, any industry that says, let's get political, has to understand the cost of getting political.
Yeah, Will, I think you're right. How about the upping of the ante real quick on the doxing and identifying of Supreme Court justices' homes and left-wing groups telling them to go to their homes?
I mean, it's really scary, Pete, and I think that the main takeaway I have on that is you just look at not just this particular news item, Roe v. Wade, but sort of everything over the past year, and you say, there's a lot of talk about democracy. There's a lot of talk about the sanctity of our institutions, and all of it is utter BS. It is meaningless. They're in favor of outcomes. If they do not get the outcome that they want, then they will literally burn it down. They will take down the Supreme Court. They will threaten justice.
And Will, that's now, and this is on dock for Mother's Day, and this is on dock for maybe today and through the weekend, and maybe for the next 3 weeks until we find this decision is real or not, if they're going to go through with it. But remember in the past, during the Trump years, they quickly found out people's home, where people lived, cabinet secretaries, and they would just make their lives miserable and in many cases scare the hell out of their families. And they're doing it nonstop. We see some of that video. In fact, we probably have some of it. Yeah, this is Senator Josh Hawley's house. He's got a pregnant wife at the time. And he's saying, really, I have to go to work? I'm not getting paid $1 zillion, and I'm speaking up for what I believe, and doing what I think the people of Missouri want me to do, and now I got to worry about my own security at my house? A lot of people are just going to say, I'm not doing this, Will.
Exactly as the leaker intended. Right? You could also put up some of our colleagues' homes in those images, couldn't you? Anybody that disagrees, anybody that gets in the way of the outcome, it's not democracy in your defense of. You're willing to use threats of violence to accomplish your outcome.
I think you're exactly right. Well, Will, speaking of outcomes, we know the outcome of 8 hours of weekend television will be sheer delight. in information. But who will bring us to that outcome, Will?
Look at that panel. It stretches all the way across your screen and includes Congressman John Katko, Mike Huckabee, Stuart Varney, Nancy Grace, Dorinda Medley. Did I miss something?
No,
yes.
But yes, you did, because we should say that Dorinda is from The Real Housewives. And she will be on this weekend.
That's what Rachel missed.
We should also say, as I bounced along and hopped and skipped over one picture, the birthday boy will also be with us tomorrow.
You're joining us on your birthday?
Yes, I am. I'm going to join you on the birthday. I'm going to do it.
The hardest worker in television.
Right.
He is. That's amazing.
It's amazing.
Will, you better have a gift for him.
You know what?
From all of us.
And if you wouldn't mind,
I'm so
if you don't know, it's a new tradition. People sign my headshots.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if you want to find a picture of me and sign it to me, that would be great.
His wife is opening a
picture of
boutique,
you
so she
signed
said,
by me
go to
for
Fox
you.
and Friends.
Exactly right.
Ainsley did that last hour.
For sure. All right, Will, we'll see you this weekend, man.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.